believe that we're going to have a great time together at this meeting, right? I understand that we have quite a number of people who are still going to join us because I know that we have way over 1,000 people registered for the webinar. So we're expecting them to join. Okay. Now I am so excited to be joining you. Now, how many of you are family life professionals? If you're already practicing as a family life professional, can you type yes? If you're not practicing yet, can you type no? Let me see on the chat box. Okay, I can see yes. Where is everyone? Okay, yes, I can see Nene. Yeah, no, Roger, no, yes. Okay, please keep it coming. I just want to know the people in the room. Okay. Yes, but not license. Okay, Coach Fidelis. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you guys are so energized and excited about this session. Right. We are going to have a great time. So we're going to go straight to the business of the day. And I want to believe that you are going to learn incredible stuff in the building today. I'm so proud to be an African. And if there's any time to be excited about being an African, it's now. Everywhere I go, I mean, I function and I practice in the US, in Dallas to be precise, Texas. And I'm super excited every time I have to facilitate, every time I have to be in the room with some of my other colleagues. And I'm able to share with them the African perspective to family life, especially in this age and time that it looks like the West seems to have lost it a little bit. I believe that we have something fantastic to offer the entire world as Africans. So whenever I step into the room, I am partly from Edo State. My mom is Edo State, right? And so because I know my history, my father is from Ondo State. But the town I am from in Ondo State, Nigeria, is a town that should have been Edo State based on the historical analysis of that town. So whenever I step into a room and they ask me to introduce myself, I grab the mic and I say to everyone in the room that I'm the descendant of the ancestry that created the first smart city in the world. And the entire room looks at me somehow to say, where's this black guy saying that they created the first man? I say, go check your Guinness Book of Record. There's a place called Benin City. It used to be Benin Kingdom. I said Benin Kingdom had a semblance of street light way before New York or London or Berlin thought of street lighting. That Benin had the best road network between 1300 and 1700. That Benin people created an artwork which is called the Great Wall of Benin, which was bigger than the Great Wall of China, right? And they created amazing artworks that some of you guys stole away. I mean, I would say that and they all laugh, but all of a sudden everyone is going online and they're checking out Benin City. What I've realized about us is that nobody can tell your story for you. If you don't tell everyone who you are, then they will look at you and so they're free to call you monkeys. They're free to call you baboon, chimpanzee, simply because you don't market your greatness. So I always say to people that I didn't come to America because I was running away. No, I didn't come to America as an immigrant or a refugee. No, I'm here as an expatriate because whenever the whites come to Africa, we don't call them refugees. We don't call them immigrants. We say they're expatriates. So I didn't come here with an empty brain. I came here with so much to offer, and I'm already offering that. So today, we're going to be starting a webinar, two-day webinar on the new rules of family life practice. A family system engineering approach, for those of you who are practicing, is to strengthen you to do better. For those of you who have not started practicing, is to give you a room to rethink and realize the crisis on ground and the need for you to join us in this amazing family. I tell people that within the next, they already said that mental health, depression will be the #1 killer in the world, maybe in another 10 years. And so if you check many of the people depressed, if you dig down into their story, you will find a lot of relationship issues, a lot of trauma, relationship-induced trauma, right? And so the most important profession in the world, I always say to people, will be the family life professionals because they are the ones who can help marriages They are the ones who can help children grow. They are the ones who can produce everybody that will govern the world, because family is the most important nation on earth. Okay, so at the end of this webinar, you would have discovered the opportunities that exist in the family life space. You would have discovered 7 reasons why family practitioners struggle. So if you are a practitioner and you don't make money, you will know why you don't make money. 6 sabotaging beliefs you need to uninstall. 5 of the 10 new rules of family life practice that can transform your practice. We'll do that tomorrow. Then the best template to accelerate your success rate across the globe. I practice across different continents of the world. I have worked in 4 continents of the world, maybe 5. I'm not sure there's any continent I've not worked right now. And the impact and the results have been the same everywhere I have worked, right? And there was a particular day, I started the day in Australia, right? And then I took a session in Ireland, that will be in Europe, right? And then I took a session in Lagos, all on Zoom, right? And then I ended a session with a session in Canada, right? So in that particular day, by the time I was done, my whole body was just not my friend, because I'd crisscrossed different time zones within my own 24 hours. So I always say to people, you see, truth is constant. If you understand your onions, you'd realize that any part of the world you get into, people want to listen to you because you have what to offer. So I want to tell you that within the time frame that we have, I know some of you men, you want to watch Nigeria's football. So I will try and ensure that we're done before the match starts, okay? Whether Nigeria wins or Nigeria doesn't win, I always tell people, today's match is a win-win for me. So if Nigeria wins, I'm excited. If Cameroon wins, Onana is staying away from my club. I'm happy. Okay, so take every distraction away from wherever you are, TV, whatever can distract you, take them away. Now, then change your Zoom name to the full name you want, right? If you have a title, maybe you're a doctor or you're a pharmacist, you have something we want to call you, because I can copy from time to time, then you can choose a super critic for yourself within you. Somebody's typing Onana. Please don't type that name here. Okay, right? Choose a super critic. Be very honest. Be brutally honest with yourself in this session. Now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to read this together, and it's what we call the prayer of the practitioner. Right. So wherever you are, I'm not sure if they can unmute you, allow you to unmute yourself, but we're going to read it. If you can't unmute yourself, just read it. Okay, 1 to go. I am worthy of whatever I desire to earn from the incredible value I have to humanity. I deserve much more than I charge, because I save lives every day, much more than the world can imagine. My clients attain clarity and achieve their desired result, while I also achieve my financial goals. I'm a family life coach, and I keep the world happy. So when people ask you, what do you do? Tell them you keep the world happy. That's what we do. We don't do family life. We keep the world happy. We are the reason why children are not going through depression. We are the reason why couples are together. We are the reason why people are not losing money. We are the reasons why the world is happy. We are the reason why the world has hope, because we keep producing awesome people from various families. So if you're a family practitioner, you need to normalize this prayer, because that's what we pray all the time. Now, my name is Praiseful. In case you're wondering who is facilitating this session and you've never heard of me before, I'm a family life practitioner who keeps the world happy. I'm popularly called the savior, because I consider my word, the best way to describe my word is that I save people, right? I save people. And so I get testimonials, overwhelming testimonials every day. I'm undergoing, taking people through a 21-day fasting out of wrong thinking. It's been mind-blowing. I think we're on day 14. I don't know how many of you are on that program. If you are there, type hi, right? It's been, the testimonies I get every day is just crazy, right? And so I am simply out to save people and open them up to the truth about themselves and help them function better. So I help a lot of my colleagues, right, to function better as a family life professional. Now, I'll tell you my story. Many years ago, I've always asked questions. I mean, growing up, my father was an Anglican priest, so I always asked questions. I will ask questions, why is it that women are the only ones who cook, right? Unfortunately for me, my mother put me in the kitchen, because my mother always said to me that I don't want you to marry a cook. I want you to marry a human being, right? Because if you can cook for yourself, then you wouldn't wait for your wife to fix meals for you. So from the time I was a child till, I think by the time I clocked 11, Whenever my father had to do a meeting, my mother would pay me to pound yam for 29 people, right? She would pay me to, oversee the soup and the service and whatever. So I naturally have this inclination that maybe I'll be a caterer or something like that. But because my dad was an Anglican priest, every time he's talking to his people, counseling people, I'll go there and I'll be trying to interject and advise them. And then my father will give me a knock and say, to me that get away from here. When adults are talking, a child should not get involved and things like that. Right. But I've always asked questions because I was very observant as a child. I asked questions, why is it that women don't have a say? Why is it that the men have the final say when it comes to family matters? Right. I had all kinds of things on my mind. I remember there was a day my dad and my mom were having an argument. I mean, they were having, they argue a lot about issues, right? And when we were having that argument, I just got upset. And I went to tell my dad that I don't think this was how to talk to a woman and blah, 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 blah. And my father, and this was me defending my mom, right? And trust me, when I say they argue, they don't fight. They've never gotten physical with each other. Then my mom came to my room and said, go and apologize to your dad. I was like, what? I was defending you. She said, it's my husband. It's your father. Whenever we are having husband and wife issue, it's none of your business. Oh my God. It was as if the land, so I had to humble myself to go say I was sorry to my dad. But you see, from that moment, I knew I was going to do something in family life space. When I got on campus, I was studying accounting, but from year 2, I was the kind of guy that every lady came to ask for when a guy was asking them out. I was the kind of guy that they came to ask for advice, praise. Should I say yes? Should I not say yes? Can you help me check out this guy? What do you think? I was also the kind of guy that guys came to meet to get tips on how to toast a babe or how to ask a babe out. What do I need to say to her to say yes? So I was studying a lot of books in psychology on campus because from year 2, I knew I wasn't going to be an accountant. I knew I wasn't going to practice. So I always told my classmates that, you know what, when they were buying stickers that says I can with icon, I told them I wasn't going to write icon, but that I was going to be very visible and they were going to see me, right? So when I left school, right, I remember clearly, I finished my youth service. If you're not in Nigeria, youth service is a mandatory national service that happens when you leave the university, right? I wanted to, serve in Lagos, but it posted me to Adamawa State. Right. And when I came back to Lagos, I was taking a walk one night and I saw a group of girls prostituting. These girls were teenagers. They must have been the age of 12 to 15. And I got very upset. And I was like, government is useless. Government is stupid. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, go to my room to pray. I prayed every night. Right. As I got to my room to pray, I had the voice say to me, but you can make a difference. I said, no, I don't have money. How will I rehabilitate prostitute? And the voice took me back to say, Praise, you used to be a bad boy. As a bad boy, you were the guy who could ask a girl out in the morning. And by afternoon of that same day, you guys are already having sex. What do you think is happening there? How can someone meeting you for the first time agree to sleep with you as a bad boy? It means you have the capacity to convince people out of whatever they were doing. So I couldn't pretend I didn't hear that voice. The following night, I was there at the brothel disguised as a customer. And so I started talking these girls out of prostitution. The first place I functioned is a place called Niger Hotel. I became so effective that I emptied the entire hotel. There was no prostitutes coming to prostitute there. The owner of the hotel began to look for me and reported me to all the hotel owners in Ajegunle. And so they placed a price tag that nobody must allow me get into any hotel again. Now, since they banned me from every hotel, I couldn't have access to the girls. But I found another street called Good Evening Street. Good Evening Street is off Bale Street in the Ajegunle, densely populated area of Lagos. The only thing that takes place in Good Evening Street was prostitution, right? They had the Niger Delta side, they had the eastern side, they had the northern side. They don't mix. So depending on the tribe you wanted to sleep with, you could go there. So that was how I got into Good Evening Street, started meeting those girls, started talking them out of prostitution. That was when I discovered that prostitution, contrary to what we've been told, we always thought it was a poverty issue. I discovered firsthand it was more than poverty because those girls needed to sleep with 11 men every day to break even, right? And so if you couldn't pay for your bed space was like 900 naira that year. This was 2001, right? You were out. So I started running meetings for them. I didn't have any tool. I didn't have any methodology. All I had was love in my heart, and I believe I could make a difference. So Since I was a Christian, I just kukuma converted it to fellowship. I was having fellowship with them. These girls will come with prayer points. Oh, their prayer points are always very, very funny. Prayer points, you can hear a girl say, oh, pastor, I don't get 3 customers. I need 9 other customers today to be able to save some money. Let God send 9 customers. And the following day they will say, oh, God send 9 customers. I used to look at them and I'm like, are you guys okay? Right? But gradually, I started emptying that brothel as well. But I learned patience. I learned human nature. I discovered these girls didn't even understand anything. There was a Valentine. I did Valentine with prostitutes, took cakes and gifts to that brothel. And in no time, 9 prostitutes left brothel that year, and they all went home. So I became very effective. Now, in my quest to help some of them get into rehabilitation center, I met the late Bimbo Odukoya. Bimbo Odukoya was like the major person who was doing single and married in Nigeria way back. Met her, but she was doing it from a Christian perspective, and when I saw, I love what she was doing. So I started looking for schools in Nigeria that offered family science or anything. No university offered family science in Nigeria. Then I checked, extended my search to Africa. We go to Cyber Cafe. I couldn't find any university that offered family science or marriage and family therapy. So the next option was to travel abroad. So I started processing my admission, started looking for schools abroad, but that was the period my father died. When my father passed, I knew that was the end of the day. So when my father passed, I was like, what's the next thing? If I couldn't travel abroad, what can I do? Okay, let's look at Nigeria. Is there anybody doing anything professional family life in Nigeria? Nobody, except for a man I saw on TV called Jerome. Jerome Onikbede was on New Dawn with Fumi Yoda. I mean, what he was doing was run personality assessment, and he always talked about relationship a little bit. So I went to look for him, but I couldn't get him. But apparently, when I did Valentine with prostitutes, Jerome had seen me on national TV. Please follow me. I'm teaching you something from the story, right? And so he had seen me on national TV because Channels Television came to cover it. So Reverend Sam Adeyemi was doing a program in church. Over 6,000 people were at the program. Jerome was the one facilitating. I was excited. I mean, it was like a hero to me. I was coming to listen to him. Then I stepped into the church, right? Then Jerome cited me from the pulpit. Then he looked at me and he said, that young man is someone who is just growing. If he's not careful, he's going to crash because he's becoming too popular on TV. It was as if the land should just open up and swallow me, right? But then people were very offended. People came to me to say, Praise, go and tear for him. Then I remember what my mother said. My mother said to me that if you have to be upset with any leader, ask yourself a simple question. Do you need him or does he need you? Then I asked that question. I realized I was the one who needed him. So during tea break, I went to kneel down beside him. I said, sir, thank you very much for rebuking me publicly, right? I'm so grateful, but please, I'm a young talent growing up. I want to study family science. Please, is there something you can do to help me? So he said, come to my house, right? So I went to his house, and then this guy did not teach me anything about family science. This guy would send me to go and buy kerosene, go and buy fuel, go and buy this, go and buy that. For like 3 months, that was all I was doing, running errands, go and look for go and look for bread, go and look for that. But I did not complain. Remember, ask the question, do you need him or does he need you? I didn't know he was running me through a series of texts. 6 months down the line, he called me, sat me down, gave me a book, and he said to me, Praise, there's no family science in Nigeria, but this book, you will have answers to all your questions. Then that was when he said to me that he wasn't a Nigerian, that he was living back for his country, but that he had been looking for someone to replace him in all his platforms, that he was dropping my name because I'd passed every test he had set for me. And so that was how I got the book, and that was how the first thing I learned was how to run personality assessment from the book. Now, since I couldn't travel abroad, nobody did family science in Nigeria, the next thing to do was, hey, if nobody does it, why don't you create it? So I began to research. I would call my mom, get me some of your friends. I want to interview them. So I began to find out, why did marriages succeed? Why did marriages fail? I went to meet the people who had done 40 years, 60 years in marriage to find out, how did your marriage succeed? But they didn't know. All of them were telling me prayer, it's prayer, it's by prayer, oh, it's by prayer. But I have seen prayer warriors whose marriages crashed. If it was by prayers alone, then no Christian marriage or Muslim marriage will crash. But I've seen people divorce. So I asked for permission to observe them, because then from the book Jerome gave me, I learned how to build frameworks and all. So I will go there, I will observe husband and wife, I'll see the way they argue, I'll see the way they resolve the argument, got in a couple of people, and this took me, and I'm not exaggerating, took me some years, maybe like 10 years cumulatively, studying and putting my research work together. I was doing it in a crude manner, doing on the spot checks and all. But during that period, I had discovered the child sexual abuse, because all the girls I took out of prostitution, all of them were sexually abused. So I found someone, Princess Coyote, I think she must be on this call, right? I saw that she was doing something along, and if I remember, she was doing something on child sexual abuse prevention. So she gave me her tapes, I studied them, and I felt, okay, I can create a solution for child sexual abuse. So I created the most complete sexual education kit in Nigeria way back. But as I solved that problem, I saw parenting problem, attacked it, researched, came up with a product, began to solve that problem. That was how new rules of family, new rules of parenting emerged. But then I faced the family life headlong, wanted to solve marital problems. But by the time I made up my research and I was done, then I had grown a little bit, saved some money. Then I needed to see my mentor, because I wasn't sure Nigerians were going to buy it, or Africans were going to buy it, or they were going to subscribe to it. So I went to see my mentor, and my mentor, he came to Nigeria, so I went to see him in his hotel room. And he said, oh, Praise, what do you have? I said, no, I just came up with this framework that I just created, but I'm not sure if Africans will buy it. So I want to ask for your permission, because I want to travel abroad and go look for affiliation with a school in the US. Now, my mentor is well-traveled. If I mention his name, you all know him. It's late now. And then my mentor looked at the model, and he asked me a few questions, and he said something I will never forget. He said, Praise, I have traveled everywhere. I have not seen a model as robust as he said. Usually, what I know is there is either family science, or there is either therapy, or there is either coaching, or there is either systems intelligence or strategy. He said, but what you have brought together looks like you've combined everything together in one product. So he said something. He said two options. Go to the US, look for a school, seek affiliation. He said, but I can bet what you have, they don't have it there. He said, or patiently take it to the market and just be persistent. Then someday people wake up to it, and then people can use it. And the more people use it, the more you have data to show that this thing really works. So I kept it, because I never liked marketing like many of you. Some of you have knowledge, but you don't like marketing. You don't like marketing because you hate rejection. That's why you don't like marketing. It's as simple as that. You like money, but you hate rejection. So when people reject your product, you think they have rejected you. So that's why you don't like marketing, but I like marketing right now. So my mentor, right, told me to trust the product. So I kept it. I didn't do anything with it. So someday, a few of my mentees came to me, because then I was writing for this day newspaper. I had amazing results. People were paying me 10, 20,000 per session, right? And because I was single, I wasn't married. Nigerians didn't believe that if you weren't married, you shouldn't be counseling married people. So I will have to go and buy a makeshift ring and wear a ring, so that they stop asking me questions to say, are you married, when they show up? But they were paying 20K. It was good business. In fact, I remember a couple who were in crisis. Those ones, too much money. What was their issue? Their issue was that they wanted to travel for summer. They couldn't agree on where to go. Wife wanted Hawaii. Husband wanted Bahamas. So they were coming. So every Sunday, they would show up. Guess what will happen? Their session is 1 hour. They will argue and fight for 1 hour. By the time they've done, I've collected their money. I'll see you next Sunday. They would show up again. For 8 weeks, they were fighting. I was happy to look at them, collect the money, and wait for them. So those days, I used to say to people that I was one of the people who get paid for listening to people's story without solving it, right? Eventually, I resolved the issues for them when they came to their senses, but it was good business, right? And so I realized that people wanted this solution. So a lot of people came to meet me to say, Praise, can you teach us your model? So that was the first time I brought out family system engineering. So I told them, if you can get 11 of you into a room, I think 11 or 12 or something, I'll teach you, but it will take me 7 days to teach you guys. So they agreed. I got 13 or 16 of them, taught them for 7 straight days non-stop, except when they had to go sleep. Guess what? People were having a headache. It was as if they'd never had it before. What I was teaching, I was breaking down models and models and models, and that was how we started family system engineering. Now, After a while, right, I began to scale and people began to look at me. And then I started traveling. A lot of people were inviting me to come and share the model. So I took off to First Families Life Coaching Association Conference in the US. When I got there, right, they looked at the model, made a presentation, and they said to me, said, this is the only model they've seen that combines strategy, coaching, and therapy all in one program. Right. They said, wow, this is so good. So I asked a question to say, can you tell me how much must I earn to be classified as a highly paid family life coach? So they said, no, it's on Google. I can check in America. So I checked and I realized that it was $80,000 that you must earn to be classified as a top range family life coach in America in a year. Then, as at that time, I was already doing close to $50,000 from Nigeria if I converted my cash. So I was like, I only need to do a little bit extra, right? But I just kept on my work, kept doing my work. I'm sharing this story with you to understand that everything you have done counts, right? A couple of years later, I heard about O1 visa. O1 visa is special talent visa. It's a special talent visa for anybody who has exceptional result in any field, right? And so I heard about it. So I put in my work, all the things I've done, project research, science papers, books that I've written. American government will scrutinize everything you have done to be sure you are eligible. And in like 15 days, they got back to me to say that my work had passed. I was eligible. That was how I got O1 visa. Now, O1 visa means that you're a special talent. You're supposed to come to America and then replicate your work within 3 years in America to be sure that you can actually do what you said you could do. And if you do that successfully, you will get a green card. Now, that was when COVID hit. For 1.5 years, I was stuck in Nigeria. So by the time I would get to America, I had 1.5 years left. So I made up my mind to accelerate my work and go all headlong and solve problem on a scale that I could get my green card within 1 year. And that was what I did. In 1 year, I had commanded enough result in America, that my green card was, it was so easy. In 15 days, I'd gotten it. Now, so I travel everywhere now, helping people build strategies. But this was me who started off by attempting to solve a problem, prostitution. That was where I started from. This is to say to you that some of you, there are problems all around you, but you are waiting for certification. You are waiting for everything to be right before you can respond to it. Right. If you don't respond to the problem around you, life may not take you to where you want to get to. So this was me in class. This was me. Lagos State government passed a law that says premarital counseling is compulsory. So I was a consultant that worked on the entire curriculum they're using, all the registrars they're using. That was me in Maryland. This was me with some of my mentees. And then I became the executive chairman of conference planning committee for Family Life Coaching Association in America for like 1 year. I have stepped down now. And this was the conference we planned last year where the eggheads came together. And so I've done quite a number of stuff. This is to tell you that, you see, your dreams are valid. One of the things I have begun to push is that Africans are unique, we're peculiar. And as much as we will draw inspiration from what America and the whites have done, they can't be us, we can't be them. They cannot tell us how to build families because our families are very peculiar and very unique. We have our own framework and models that work. And that's why at the last conference last year, they were talking about some new certification, and I asked them a simple question. I said, has any of you ever seen any movie from Nollywood? And they all looked at me. I said, if you have never seen a movie from Nollywood, how do you understand African culture? And how do you think that you should actually be teaching us something? Principles are universal, but we need to do something about application. So in Africa, as we have it today, there is 1.4 mental health workers per every 100,000 people. This is data. So for every 100,000 persons who is dealing with, maybe mental health or something, you have 1.4 mental health workers. So if you calculate the number of psychologists, psychiatrists we have, it comes to 1.4 mental health workers per 100,000 people. right? And this is scary. It means that there is a lot of gap, and that is why family life coaches, family life practitioners must come in to bridge the gap. What separates us from the rest of the world isn't just competence issue. It's often esteem issue and lack of belief in our solution. So, in fact, a lot of our governments across many of African countries, when they say African solutions, they're not likely going to take it. Unless he wears a white skin. Even if the white skin is rubbish, it's nonsense, cannot work, they will still take it. Then they'll be looking for how to apply it. That was how we built bus stops without considering the number of people who are going to use bus stops. Eventually, we build bus stops and we realize that there's a lot of, because we cannot keep copying what the whites are doing. They are not us, we're not them. So we need to understand that there is a lot of gap. There is a lot of space. We don't have a lot of people in this space. We do not. And so if we still have 1 million people, we'll still be short-staffed. We need a lot more people in the space. Now, if you look at the family life space, there are multiple opportunities in the values chain. For example, you can do personal coaching. I don't like to do personal coaching because many of the people that want to work with me can't even pay. So a lot of my mentees, I push them to them because the coaching I do this year, for example, my coaching fee is like $10,000. That's what I charge, right? If I want to do group sessions, maybe it's like $2,000. Now, I'll tell you how I charge, which is different from the way conventional people charge, right? So how many people can afford $10,000? Well, because I've trained a number of people, right? And their own charges are different, I can push them to them. So you can do personal coaching. But for you to do personal coaching, your certificate is not enough. That you have certificate does not mean people will come to you. You need to show yourself as a persona, as a personality that people can come to, that they can confide in and they can trust. There is group coaching. You can do a whole lot from group coaching. You can bring like 40 people into a room, charge them like 100,000 naira, or charge them 20,000 naira, or charge them $1,000 each, charge them $2,000 each. You can, I did a group coaching, I think last year, right, for a group in America, and I had like 98 people in class, or 90 something, about 98, and each group paid like $1,000, right? So you can do group coaching, and trust me, when I talk like this, I am very conservative. I don't like to throw numbers so that I don't scare you. But it's to tell you that there is space, there is money in the space if you know exactly what you want to do. You can do organized employee family assisted program for organizations. You can be on retainership. I did retainership with several companies in Nigeria before I left Nigeria. Even after I left Nigeria, they still retained me. So you can organize with your colleagues to do that. There is report preparation. I don't know if Amina is on the call. Amina started preparing reports for people that there are lots of people who don't like to prepare reports. So when your clients complete the assessment, your report creation process, Amina started doing that. She made some good millions by preparing reports for people, right? Deals with government. You can do deals in the family life space. For example, you can tell a state government or a national government you want to create a family life response team for them, right? They will pay you millions or billions if care is not taken, right? Because it's very clear the value you want to bring. Because with that, you will solve domestic violence, a problem issue. You will solve a whole lot more issue. You can do consulting, right? You can use your framework to consult for families. A lot of families now hire family life coaches. I function as a family life coach for some families. I'm on retainership with them. So every year, I'm doing their assessment. There are families that I'm coaching at the moment. I'm rebuilding the entire family process. So that's consulting. Intellectual property development. You can create courses. Go online. You will see how to kiss on YouTube. Interesting thing is, there are several how to kiss videos on YouTube. But the one that has the highest rating, right? Highest, I think over 60 million views, is by two people who were not even married. So two unmarried people shot a video, kissed themselves. You will call that sin if you're a pastor. Kiss themselves. Married people are watching, single people teach them how to kiss. It's insane. But those guys cast out. Do you know how much YouTube paid them every month to do how to kiss or something like that, right? So intellectual property development. How to raise a child, how to marry, how to survive first year of marriage, you can create any how-tos, right? And people will buy. Partnerships. You can do partnerships. By the way, intellectual property is one of my strongest points. So I create courses on a regular basis. And I spend a lot on research. If I tell you my research budget for last year, I had someone on retainership. What I was paying the person monthly was insane, right? Some professors don't earn it. But I needed a research assistant, and so I had to do that. Partnerships, you can do partnerships. Non-governmental organization, you can be a non-governmental organization, do advocacy. Matchmaking is a huge, in fact, matchmaking for C-suite executives is a green area because they don't have time to go on social media, go on the dating site, blah, blah, blah. If you can find good people and bring them to meet other good people, see, you will clean out. That's a green market in Africa, right? People are looking for there's some guy on social media, he's a Nigerian guy. He doesn't even speak proper English. It's called Lega Miami or something like that. I watch this guy, he's abusing people, yet he's doing matchmaking for them. He's abusing them, fighting with his client, no professional ethics, nothing. And yet some of you have certification. This Lega Miami guy has become a celebrity in Nigeria, right? And yet some of you look at him, you are upset at what he's doing, you know more than him, yet you can't even influence anything, right? So matchmaking is a huge, huge, huge market. Preparation and response, right? You can prepare people for marriages, and I'm loving what people like Mommy Mo is doing. I'm seeing what Dima is doing right now. I'm seeing what Ayo Lawrence is. People are now setting up marital preparatory institute. That we need that across Africa. So my sister who is joining from Zambia, Ghana, we need you guys to set up all those ones because people need to be intentionally prepared. See, if we think that marriages are in crisis right now, the marriages of the Generation Z and Alpha is going to be worse if we don't catch them young. Because if you see their content on TikTok and their content on Facebook video, these guys, their content is summarized as have sex. That's their content. There is no depth in whatever they're sharing, no sense. You just see neighbor, come inside the room, have sex with themselves. That's all they're sharing, right? And so that has its downside. That's why you need to hijack that generation and begin to prepare them for marriage, then position yourself to do marital response. Arts and entertainment, you can shoot movies that are family oriented. Tyler Perry did a lot of that. So if you have an inkling or you have a desire to get in the movie world, you can partner with people. Child development is a huge sector. You can run values-driven sessions for other people's families. One of the things is that parents are very busy. So they are looking for someone to help them parent their children. You can step into that space and say, I'll parent your child for you virtually. You will teach their children values. You will teach them, if they need the word of God, you teach them the word of God or Quran, you teach them whatever it is, right? They will pay you for it. If some parents are not required to parent their children, they don't mind paying. They can outsource it. Family support. You can support families, right? I mean, so I support a lot of families. I mean, sometimes people who are in crisis, polygamous families, they call me in and they pay me heavily and I solve the problems, right? By going through everyone using the methodology I have learned over the years. So there are so many opportunities in this field. Question is, why are many people struggling? Why is it that many family professionals don't make money? Why is it that some people are making a killing, making a lot of money, some people are making no money at all, right? And so, in fact, think coaching, thank you very much, Falasha. The think coaching is an emerging field, very huge field right now, right? You can function in that space, you can solve the problem in that space and be training teenagers. You can even create a methodology. For example, teen coaching, all secondary school teachers should actually be teen coaches if you're going to work with Generation Z, right? All school owners who are having secondary schools should actually have teen coaching certification. So there is so much available. Now, let me come back to you. I want you to look at the picture in front of you. What do you see and how does this make you feel? I want you to go to the chat box, or if you want to talk, you can raise your hand. I'll bring you up. What do you see? And how does this make you feel? Look at this picture very well. I'm testing something. What do you see? How does this make you feel? If you raise your hand, you can raise your hand to answer, and I'll call you. If not, put it on the chat box. Let me see. What do you see? What do you see? What does this look like? Let me see. Seduction. Fumi Daniel says seduction. Seduction. Okay, who else? A sex worker. Where are the other people? Let's keep coming. Let's keep coming. Runs girls. Ewuka. Okay. Where are the other people? I have 181 people in this class. Seduction, immorality. Okay, Agbola, immorality. Who else? Where is everyone? A traumatized girl showing symptoms of trauma. Omolayo, I love that. Okay, looks like someone who needs help and struggling. Slay Queen, Lena. Perversion, a street lady, I cannot hear. Half naked, sex worker, poorly raised, indecent dressing. Blah, 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 blue, 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 blue. Okay, thank you. Opportunity for transformation. I love that, Olumide. Okay, so let's look at this one. What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? Let's look at this one, second image. What do you see? What do you see? Commercial sex workers, is that what you still see? I believe my slide would have changed now. Children that need help. Indecent dressing, needs guidance. Okay. Dancers, potential mothers without direction. Interesting. Where are the other people? What I see, you don't need to stress yourself, bring sex to your door. How I oh God, clubbing. They need radical change, clubbing. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let me take you to another picture. What do you see? Now look at this. What do you see? 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 Let me see. What do you see? What do you see? Ladies that need direction, intervention, or gay? Somebody says, I see gay. Alphabet people, gay. The Gabriel. Okay, helpless youth. Okay, good, good, good. Homosexuality. That's what you see. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, what do you see? Final picture. What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? What can you see? In front of you, people in need, community, religion, 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 religion. Okay, religious people, praying people, religion. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I now see why many of you on this call have not made money as family life professionals. Because what you have done is that you have excluded yourself from the opportunity to relate with everyone I have showed you, and to make money from them. What did you see that made you think this lady is a hooker, is a prostitute? What if she's a housewife whose husband is going on a journey and she's having a conversation with her husband, right? Maybe they just had hot sex because, I mean, sometimes people can dress like this in their bedroom. They just had hot sex and the guy forgot his phone and she quickly rushed out of the bedroom to come and give him the phone and she's having a conversation. Somebody say a post. Is there anything about this post that makes her a prostitute? Can you see how you have been wired to judge and interpret? There is nothing on this girl that is prostitute, hooker, but for your conditioning. Now, if she puts her face up and you now realize that this person that is posed like this is Janet Jackson or something, right? Somebody say her butt is out now. What is her butt? I'm saying that this is someone's wife talking to her husband. You say her butt is out, right? And so, perspectives. Thank you very much, Okoko. The moment you have seen this, you don't have interaction with her. She has not said anything to you, but you have concluded indecent dressing, hellfire. Already what you are saying is that you are a religious leader, right? And so you are not a family life professional. You are labeling, right? So look at this. There is nothing. This could be a party for some Gen Zs or girls who are just graduating from school or some old student association, you know, blah, blah. How can you make money from people you have judged? How can you help people you have judged? So you see why many of us never really scale. God told Abraham, he said, through you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. All has to be all. Question is, can God put the blessing of the entire family of the world in you? And all include gay, straight, ogedengbe, everybody, all in all. Can you work with them? Right? So we see things based on who we are. Thank you very much, Chinedu. right? How did you see, let me tell you, all the people I see here are clients. That's the only thing I see. Every of this picture, all I've seen are clients. Clients that need me, right? So I'm looking at these religious people and I'm saying, how can I go and set up a marital institute in their Asalatu? Sele, how can I set premarital counseling for them and position myself as the one that solves all their family problems, right? I'm looking at all these ones now and saying, how can I be their family coach, right? All these ones are going to give back to children. How can I collect money to help their children? These girls, all of them will need matchmaking, right? How can I matchmake them with good guys? How can I ensure that they themselves are good? How can I coach them, right? You are looking at this lady. I'm looking at her husband, herself and her husband or whatsoever she's talking. Let's even assume she's a commercial sex worker. She's still going to pay me to transform her life. I can clean her up, right? And so this is the problem many of us have, that we have been scripted to judge. How did you arrive at your conclusion? The moment your interpretation becomes subjective and you are caught in the bug of stereotyping, your ability to build a profitable business becomes hampered because you no longer see human beings. You see labels. Once you see labels, you lose customers and excuse yourself from what they can pay. What if this girl that you say about is out? What if she's a celebrity who needs you for matchmaking and she's willing to pay $1 million? But you know what happened? You suppressed your family life professional mind. Your Christian mind was what shut up. So your Christian mind overpowered your professional mind, and you started saying, this lady is going to hellfire. You have not even interacted with her. And because of that, your body language is already not making her to talk to you. So many of us, many clients are not coming to us because there is no love in our heart. What you are a religious leader, you are judgmental, you can judge people, but there is no love. This work is about love. My number one currency on this job after 20 years is love. I love my clients. I love people to bits. People that have interacted with me will tell you, even though I'm one of the most highly paid, maybe the highest paid in my sector, they will tell you that praise is not about money. Praise is about people. In fact, I have clients who are the ones reminding me, praise, we've not paid you. You see that you don't like money. You don't like money, right? We judge people. So we judge people who don't look like us. We treat ourselves with empathy, but we treat other people with judgment. So when you have judged the entire world, you don't like Muslims, you don't like this one, you don't like that one, this one is indecently dressed, who is left to do business with you? Right? And so many of us cannot accommodate. So God cannot even commit all into us because we cannot reach all. Through you, all the families of the heart. So, and we are family life professionals. So if God is saying through us, all the family of the world will be blessed. Can you deal with Hindu family? Can you deal with Buddhist family? Can you deal with polyamorous family? Can you deal with this family and that family? Without engaging them, you can't even influence them. So all of you who have judged all these, our potential clients, can you go on your page right now on the comment box and say, we are sorry, apologize now. Because those guys are going to show up from tomorrow and they're not going to bring money to you. Oh, God. Okay, good. Chinedu, thank you. You guys are apologizing. Okay, good. Now, thank you very much. Right? I hope by the time you go out tomorrow, you will begin to observe people from the prism of love. Because without love, you can't reach anybody. And without love in your heart, you will manipulate people. Now, the biggest error in our world today is the error of assumption. All you know is what you know. But what you know is not all there is to know. What you know is all you know, but all you know is not all there is to know. There are so many things that we need to begin to master, right? And that is why we say that a family life practitioner whose knowledge base is skewed will cause more harm than good. What that means is when you look at a human being and you don't see a human being and what you see are labels, then you will do more harm. You will judge people. You will look at people you should empathize with. You can't reach that with empathy because you're already biased. Now, you need to understand that if you are not skilled in handling various problems, you will endanger your client. So we're just going to do a quick survey or a quick assessment in here. Now, on your sheet of paper, if I ask you, what is your desired family life practice result? Let's say all your dreams as a family life professional can come to pass right now. What would it look like? Can you write it down? Or let me put it in figures. If I ask you right now, how much do you want to earn in 2024 as a family life professional? Can you write a figure down on your note? Or what kind of practice do you want to build? Okay, if you have answered that question, I want you to go to the next question. What is your current result? Okay, somebody said $50 million. Woo, I want to come and join you. Remember me, remember me. What is your current result? So if you say $50 million, how much did you make in the last 1 year? Can you write it down? How much did you make in the last 1 year? Now, if your desired result is 100%, what is the percentage? And you now have your current result, which is how much you made the last 1 year. What percentage do you think you are operating by if you divide your desired result with your current result? Right? Are you operating at 10%, 0%, 20%, 50% of your capacity right now? Can you put your answer on the chat box? Let me see. Okay, just advising friend. Joy is at 0%. She's just advising. You are not an advisor, right? And if you want to be an advisor, you better get them to pay you for it, right? And so just about starting out, 0%, 0%, 0%, 50 minus 50%. Thank you very much for your honesty. 5% Uche, 2% Akimbo, Olalekon 0%, right? And 15%, 0%, nothing for now. Okay, look at you. So all of you that judge that girl, you see why you are scoring 0%. 40%, Sam, good. Roger, 0%. Oh, wow. 6%, 0%. Right, I'm at 10%. Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you guys for your honesty. I love it. Now, the next question will now be, right, that what beliefs have you installed? And what template are you using? What is your confidence level? What do you think is stopping you from manifesting at the level you want to manifest? Right? Do you think it's a competence level? You don't feel confident enough? Or you don't feel you are afraid to charge people? Or could it be that you don't have certification? You don't have a framework that can help you show people that you are actually competent, right? What do you think is the problem with you? Can you put it on the chat box? Okay, charging very well for my services. I don't have the right tools and systems. I'm afraid to charge all of the above, having to charge people visibility. Uche is saying visibility. Okay, where are the other people? Not competent for the height or level I want to attain. Good. I don't have certification, no formal training. Certification, confidence level, certification, fear of charging as the pastor. Framework. If you are a pastor, you need to separate your pastoral work from your professional work. And what I recommend is work with a partner, right? The church, no framework, no certification. Okay, so I can see what you guys are dealing with. No certification, not computer literate. You don't even need computer to. I mean, Legend Miami does not use any computer. It uses his phone. No confidence. Okay. No certification, no formal training. Okay, so that's very clear. So I can see the problem and we can solve that problem. Now, so it means that if you don't have certification, then what actions have you taken so far and how effective? That's why you're in this meeting. So I don't even need to ask that question, right? And so let me ask you one more question, right? How many of you helped at least 20 people in the last 1 year on their relationship issue and you did not charge them? Whether advice, whether solving problem, whether doing counseling, at least 20 people. and you did not charge them, right? And they told you that what you did worked. Hey, Mojisola, okay, they tried more than 20. Kai, I didn't charge. Yes. Right? Okay. Yes, I did. Constant, be accountable. I charge them. See me, salary, at least 7 couples. Yeah, definitely that. More than 20, not up to 20. Okay, you didn't charge. Thank you very much. Now I'll show you why some of you don't charge people. Right. There are 7 reasons why many family practitioners struggle. And I'm just going to breeze through that. Then I'll tell you 6 limiting beliefs you need to uninstall. Then I'll be done for today. Then we'll continue tomorrow. Now, these are 7 reasons why I found out why many of you struggle. And that's why you can't miss tomorrow's session. Number 1, profitability mental block. Many of you who don't charge, I can bet you that there is another alternative source of income you have. This is not all you have. If you're a woman, you are doing it for free. Someone is paying your bills. You know, when you don't charge for your competence, you are pretending to your client that you are self-sufficient and that you are okay. You are like someone fetching water with a bucket from a well, with a bucket that is bigger than you. Very soon, the well is going to fetch you, right? So many of us, we live with the mentality that can this work pay my bills? Freely have you received? Okay, how many of you have that mentality? Freely have you received? Freely have you give? Can you type yes? Yes, you have that mentality. It's not true. It's not true. This seminar is costing you data. You are listening to me. You are not listening for free. It's costing you your time. It's costing you your data. So don't let anybody sabotage you. And I see this among Christians. You are not a full-time pastor. You don't collect tithes. You don't collect offering. You are not on church payroll. Now, if you go to church on Sunday and you're in family life team, offer it for free. That's your service to church. But Monday to Sunday or to Saturday, that's for you. So you cannot go around and say freely, what did you receive freely? You are going to pay for certification. You didn't receive it freely, right? And so don't, in fact, now I used to feel bad. I will do everything for free. One day, in fact, I used to tell people that God told me not to charge. God told me not to charge. God did not tell me not to charge. It was because I was mentored by a certain man who used to make that statement. I now started repeating what he was saying. But his own wife had an established business, right? Until one day, I went to speak somewhere, and I said, you know, anything, just give me. They gave me 30,000. My car developed a fault. I spent 180,000 to fix my car. In fact, that money, I borrowed it from my wife, right? I said, sweetheart, please just give me a loan to fix this car. And I started paying back. Then I started asking myself, do I make sense to myself? In every labor, there's profit, right? And so that was all I was doing, family life. So why would I be giving it for free? So I created something, and then I will be very practical and very, very vulnerable. So those days, I used to have like 20 speaking engagements, like let's say 11 to 12 in a month. And by the time I put together honorarium, free thing they pay me, some people will pay you with, in fact, I don't know who taught people to be giving people throw pillow in Nigeria. May God forgive that person. That you go for speaking engagement, they will not give you throw pillow. My house was full of throw pillow with my face. I don't know how many of you have throw pillows in your, they gave you throw pillow. Can you type hi? Throw pillows everywhere, right? Oh God, God forgive the person that started throw pillow as a way to reward people, right? So I had throw pillows everywhere, but I was broke. So I would have about 12 speaking engagement. By the time I calculate how much I have made in a month, maybe less than 150,000. I have a wife, I have children to pay school fees for and stuff like that. So my mentor said to me that, Praise, begin to charge. Get me a document and say, everyone I invite you, send this to them. He said, you need to close your mind to do it. He said it will separate the people that need you from those that want you. But Koza pays very well, though, in fairness to Koza. Koza is one of the churches that pay the highest when they invite speakers. Right? So I did it with fear and trembling. So when people started inviting me, I started sending it to them. Guess what? The number of people that invited me in a month dropped from like 12 to 3. But you see those 3, each of them paid about 250,000 naira. So by speaking 3 times in a month, right, I had 750K. Compared to when I would go everywhere, 11, 12, and I had 150,000. Business is not the same thing as business. What changed? I removed my profitability mental block. Many of us, especially those of us who grew up in religious setup, we are the ones with that profitability mental block. We are the ones who say, it's just my passion. I'm just doing it for free. No. You see, if you have played the game Cash Flow 101, they will say that you are not ready to fund your dream until you are out of rat race. Many of you are not out of rat race, but you're already funding a dream. So profitability mental block is number 1. Number 2, lack of creative productization leverage, right? Many of you are busy, but yet to create any transformation solution that the market needs. So you need to, if you are here, for example, you don't have a YouTube page, then I don't know what you are doing, right? If you are here, you don't have a regular webinar, and you say you are a family life professional, you are just wasting time, right? You need to creatively productize. What that means is normalize on YouTube. What sells the most is how. In fact, the number 1 trending topic on YouTube today, someone did search engine optimization and sent me the report, is how to know a guy that loves me. That's the question everybody wants answers to. How to know someone that loves me. So, and the people providing the answers are not even family life professionals. I mean, you know, there's someone in Nigeria, for example, who is a family life, who says, I'm a family life, whatever, but it's causing problem every time on Instagram, fight every time on Instagram, right? So you guys see these things, but you do nothing. You need to create productization. Have a book, an ebook that can help you gather data from people, that can help you collect their email address. Then you can upsell them, do webinar. From the webinar, upsell them to something, right? And so you can, there's a guy that you need to listen to, all of you. His name is Myron Golden. He's on YouTube. I'll recommend him to you guys. He's very good. I love him. Myron Golden, that's his name. You need to listen to him on productization, right? God is, the first time God manifested in the Bible is a creator. God created him, content creation, right? That's what Myron Golden said. So you need to learn to create YouTube content at least once a week, minimum. See, I have written every day in the last 15 years of my life. I have pushed out content every day. During COVID, I was pushing out content every 2 a.m. Nigerian time. I wanted to do it for 365 days. I did it for 147 days, and I stopped because my health broke down. But you see, some of those programs I was putting out every day, one of them, right, it's now a high-ticket program. It was free. It was on YouTube. But it's now a high-ticket program. It's a $2,000 program, and it's a group session I'm doing with people. Group session. It's called Human Engineering Programming. I have a new class starting in February 17 or something, right? And I coach people in 13 weeks to recreate their life and re-engineer their life. So you need to get creative. You need to use ChatGPT, find the trending topics, find how to title books. Go on Amazon, look for the trending books in your area of expertise, look at the way they title them, and use the same to do. So you need to be creative in productization. Number 3, obsolete and ineffective practice template. Now, if you don't have tools that you are using, then nobody's going to listen to you, right? Gone are the days when you say, oh, couple, husband, come. Oh, yeah, say your own. Wife, say your own. They will now talk. That's a waste of your life. See, things have moved. We have a tool called Oyela, for example, in family system engineering. With Oyela, once they feel the whatever, you know exactly what is wrong with them, right? And so they don't even need to talk. You are telling them what is going on in their marriage, and you look like a prophet, right? And so if I am using Oyela, you cannot come and compete with me, and you are sitting to listen to people for 3 hours. It's a waste of your life. A session should not be more than 50 minutes. By the time you are done with 50 minutes, reschedule them for another session. So obsolete and ineffective practice templates, right? By the time we come out with the AI version of Oyela, in 1 minute, less than 1 minute, you can know everything that is wrong with people, right? Because technology is going to a place where it's about speed. Nobody has time to say, I need to listen to both of you 3 hours. They don't even have time. Who is going to give them that time? So if your tools, if you are using native intelligence, then nobody's going to pay you. Do you know, when I'm talking to my clients, before they see me, they first complete Oyela. Oyela alone in America, I charge $250 for it. $250 is what they pay to do psychometry alone and debriefing. By the time they now finish my debriefing, I now show them my packages. My packages, the cheapest is 3 weeks, $1,000. Next one is $3,500, $3,800. Next is $5,000. Next is $10,000. Next is $20,000. I now tell them, based on what is there, which one do you want to choose? Most of the time, they are choosing the $5,000. People don't mind paying anything, but they want ease of payment. So I'll tell them, okay, because it's America, you can log in your card and pay across 20 months or whatever is convenient for you. So how relevant are your tools? How much do you trust your tools? If you don't trust your tool, then please, the first thing to do is to go and even sign up for Family System Engineering Certification. Number 4, inability to master business system. Many of us are doing this work. We don't have a scalable system, structures, and strategies. So for example, there is what we call traction science, right? It was a model I created pre-COVID to say the traction science is very simple. You first create and master your solution or trade. So create something, master it. Next one is sound and focus the alarm, which means become very visible. Let people know you for it. Step 3, attract and build a tribe of believers and institute a training for them. So let people be able to use your model to produce their own result. Next one, turn believers into evangelists and place them on commission. So now they can take franchising, they can take licensing and go and use your methodology. Next, convert them to disciples, then build systems that gives them independence to go and do whatever they are going to do. But they pay you a token every year, right? And then create borderlessness, which makes it easy for people to get into you across the globe. That is online courses. Create pipeline, create framework, right? You need to put all these things in place. If you want to build a proper build, that's why you see people in America, they tell you they've done $1 million on certain products, right? It's because they push it with the all of their life. And let me tell you this, one of the cheapest ways to build this is to have a community. Facebook is still the best place to build a community, right? And so if it's a community, you now have to feed them every week. Show up, have meetings with them, share something with them every week. You can use StreamYard to stream it, whatever. These things are very easy to do. Number 5, confusing family practice with activism. You are not here to do a Luther continua. Victoria Sata, all we are saying, we no go agree. All men has come. All men has come. We need a change. You are not females in Nigeria, okay? Right? So don't confuse things together. If you want to do advocacy, go and join an NGO. But you say you are a family. That's why, as a family life professional, you can't be taking position anyhow. So they say, this person is fighting this person. You go there and choke your mouth. They say that person, that was how people got into jail over putting mouth. As a family life professional, you can't even divulge information that a client puts in your hand. It's a jailable offense. So when I see people call themselves family life therapists and they are using people's stories anyhow on social media, they are putting mouth in what is none of their business, those guys will go to jail in advanced countries. So you are not an activist. That's why most of the time trending topics, you won't see me comment. Because the person who is the offender and the other person, they need you. You are standing between the living and the dead. So if they say somebody raped somebody, the rapist needs you. The person they raped needs you. But when you take a position, you can only work with one of them. And that is not lack of empathy. You feel for both of them, but are you aware the person who even raped somebody has trauma in his life too? It doesn't mean he won't go to jail, but there is trauma because nobody was born rapist. So you cannot confuse your practice with activism. Number 6, practitioner low self-esteem. Aha! Who am I to charge anyone how to do marriage better? So in fact, people will come at you. They say, you are not married. Why should you be counseling people? Excuse me, it's a profession. They say you are a divorcee. That your marriage did not work does not disqualify you if you have a certification. It's like saying a doctor, because his son died of headache or malaria, he should no longer consult as a pediatrician. No. Right? And so you need to let people know that you went to school to study it. So it has no, because it takes two to make a marriage work. No matter how good you are as a woman or as a man, once your partner decides to go their way or misbehave, there is nothing you can do to make it work. Right? So the people who go through divorce, not all of them were bad. Some of them were just unfortunate that one partner decided to go their way. So don't let anything distract you. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. You're a single mother. You're not married. No. It's only Africa that you hear all these things. In fact, the best family life professionals in many developed countries are divorcees. Some of them are in their third marriages. Some of them are not even married. Right? And so you need to let people know. Do you want solution? Because I can solve the problem. Let's even say your marriage didn't work. You have enough experience to now know what people should avoid. Right? So don't let low self-esteem kill you. And that takes me to 7. Certification without contextualization. So many people will take foreign certification syndrome with no transformations. In fact, Nigerians are being scammed. Because I live in America, I see people say, I have the university from this degree, from this university, certificate from this. By the time you check the university, it's not a proper university. It's just a regional registration, right? You can't take that certificate anywhere. But it's not just even about certificate, it's about contextualization. Can this certificate solve problems, right? And so if you see anybody says they are giving you a certificate and US certified, US does not certify anybody. Organizations in US certify people. You can't say you went to Harvard now and say you were US certified. No, you were Harvard certified. So don't always think, oh, when you hear London certified, right? There's nothing like that. And how you know is go and present it at the embassy. They will just bounce you, right? However, make sure that whatever certification you're getting is applicable to the problems you want to solve. Okay, so which of these reasons can you easily relate with? Can I see on the chat box, what is your reason for not making money out of all the things I've shared so far? Can I see? Which one resonates with you the most? Is it all the 7 or number 1 or number 2? Okay, Ashwani said all of the above. Who else? Okay, 6, 2, 6, and 6. All of the 7, all of the above. Practitioners, low self-esteem. So you need to snap out of that low self-esteem and you need to step into where you need to step into. Right. Okay. So somebody said couldn't get number 5. Well, so if I take number 5 back, that's confusing family life practice with activism. Right. That's number 5. Okay, good. We are doing well. We're doing well. Okay. So before we go today, we'll continue tomorrow. I'm just going to quickly share with you mental beliefs that you need to uninstall. At the root of a struggling practice are self-sabotaging beliefs that every high performer profession has uninstalled. Some of these beliefs, I uninstalled them. It used to trouble me, right? And number 1 of these limiting beliefs, is the fact that family practice does not pay well. That's not true. That's not true. I have done over $100 consistently from my family life practice, over $100,000, right? If I convert that to Nigerian currency, that's over 100 million. That's not bad, right? And so limiting beliefs that sabotage of a professional is to say it doesn't pay well. There are people, I have colleagues, I've mentored people in the industry in Nigeria who did about 40 million last year. I've mentored people who did 25 million, 30 million. And that's not bad at all because when I started out, there was no industry. Nobody was willing to pay anybody, right? But they kept telling me, Praise, nobody will pay. That was what they told me. Some of my mentors in Nigeria, they told me, Praise, you better go and become a pastor. If you become a pastor now, they will respect you more. Then you can now start this. I said, no, I wanted to be a professional. I didn't want to be a religious family life professional. So family life practice pays well. You need to uninstall that belief. Number 2, family life practice is a gift from God and cannot be learned from any school, okay? People have made all this kind of, I don't want to say they are stupid beliefs, right? So you will see people say, do you know you can't even counsel? You can't use the word counsel in Canada, for example, without certification, right? You can't just be coaching people anyhow. They want to know the framework. Where did you graduate from? What is the framework? What kind of institute? What certification do you have? Even clients who are enlightened will ask you, what framework are you using? And by the time you just say, yeah, I don't have any, just tell me your problem. You tell me your problem. I'll bring solution. No, people are going to just, and the moment they bounce you, they will tell other people, please, that person is a quack, right? And so, yes, it's a gift from God, but you must go to school. Ability to speak is a gift from God, but you still want to learn ABCD, right? And so you need to understand that nobody pays you for talent, they pay you for skills, right? And so number 3, you cannot be a good family life professional if you are not married or if you are divorced. Please uninstall that belief. It's a wrong belief. You can be a fantastic, it's so amazing the way we take these things in Nigeria and Africa, for example. So one day I wrote on social media, I said, it took Kenneth Copeland his third marriage to get it right. And it took Joyce Meyer a second marriage to get it right. And someone came and lambasted me and abused me and say I'm an agent of the devil. So how can I say Brother Copeland, was divorced before? Brother Copeland has only been married to Sister Gloria, blah, blah. And I said to him, I said, Google is your friend. Why don't you go on Google? Why are you fighting me? So the guy went to Google, and then he saw that Sister Gloria is his third wife, and came back to me to say, oh, Praise, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. But this is someone who followed Copeland all his life. I said, how can you follow a mentor? You don't even know anything about your mentor, right? So it's not true. Family life practice is a profession. If you have certification, you can practice regardless of your situation, whether single, married, divorced, remarried, whatever, you can. And that takes me to number 4. All you need is a foreign certification for you to practice, for your practice to be recognized. Not true. There's nothing even called foreign certification. Just get a proper certification from an institute that is recognized with a proper framework and with a huge network. And there are certifications. When I did my NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming certification, my instructor told us, he said, and I paid for level 1, paid for level 2, paid for level 3. He said, after this class, if you want to see me, you need to pay $1 million. And I felt very upset. So having paid you so much, I still need to pay $1 million to now see you after class, right? But in family system engineering, they provide support for you from the time you graduate. You are in a group where everything you need, just put it there. You have people who are supporting you to solve the problem, right? So when people say all you need is a Spanish certification for your practice, it's not true. As a matter of fact, many of the most effective people don't have many of the foreign certification, because many of the foreign certifications is built around their own culture, and their cultural reality is different. For example, I can't call my father by his name, right? And that's our culture, but they can call their own father by their name. So there's a cultural, so even if you get it, you need to adapt. That's a big problem in Africa. Africa, we go to economic summit and go and carry an idea. They won't contextualize it, then they realize that they can't implement it. So this is not true. Don't let any of these beliefs mess you up. And number 5, you don't have enough capacity to help others. Who am I syndrome? Please remember when I shared my story with you, and that was why I shared that story. All I had was a heart of love, and that was enough to take girls home from the brothel. The first thing you need is a heart. And so some of you will say, oh, wow, I don't have money, blah, blah, blah. But can you do a payment plan? Right? You have capacity. You love to do this. You want to do it professionally, then learn it. That's what I do, right? I'm taking courses regularly. I have some new courses I need to start this year, right? I wrote like 12 papers last year, right? Not cheap, not easy, but I've got to keep improving myself, right? So, because let me tell you, out here is about data. And that's why your practice has to be data-driven. It cannot be spooky. That's why they don't take us seriously. For those of us who are from the religious space, if you don't have data to show, to say, this was the data when they came in, this was the data after I deployed my framework, 3 months down the line, this is the data, 4 months down the line, then you can now say it takes 6 months for someone to recover from post-divorce trauma, blah, 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 blah. You can write position papers that way. And number 6, which is the last one, you need a lot of social media followers to attract enough paying clients. It's not true. It's not true. In fact, all the people that follow me on social media, I don't know how they managed to follow me. There was nothing extra I did, right? But I will tell you, the big money is actually offline. right? So, for example, if I am the one that Dangote has appointed as his family life professional, and Otedola has appointed me, and Bill Gates and Elon Musk, I won't work with anybody again. Those four is enough. What social media do I need? Except I'm looking for popularity, right? But it's good to grow your social media following. It's good to build a network, build a community. But you say, I know people who have less than 1,000, but they are making a kill, right? It's about visibility. And that's why you need to go on LinkedIn and present yourself as a professional. You're a family life professional, right? Make sure that the language of what you are, because people are about to spoil LinkedIn now with all the funny things they are posting, right? Make sure that your language is professional. If you are even on LinkedIn, LinkedIn has its own AI that can help you rewrite whatever you are writing. You can use ChatGPT if you can't pay for the premium LinkedIn. You can use ChatGPT to edit everything you want to put out. So it's not true that you need a lot of social media followers to attract enough paying clients. So before we go, we're going to do an activity and I'll release you to go. I want you to write on your sheet of paper, what are the limiting beliefs that you have that is sabotaging your progress in your family life practice? If you can just limit it to maybe one or two, just write one or two. What limiting belief do you have that is sabotaging your progress in your family life practice? Awesome. Awesome. If you have written it down, I want you to take a look at it. Look at that belief that you have written down that is sabotaging you. That belief has followed you every time. And ask yourself, is this belief serving me? Is it serving you? Is it giving you the result you truly desire? Okay, someone said that the profession cannot pay. Believing that belief that it cannot pay, is it serving you? Is it giving you the result you desire? Can you answer the question on your note pad? Now, step 3 is to now reframe that belief. Look at that belief, right? And ask yourself, based on the result you want, what must you believe to get the result you want? That's step 3, reframing. What belief must you now have to get the result? If I tell you my belief, I believe I'm the best in the world. That's what I believe. And you can't take that belief off me. I believe I'm the best that exists in the world. In my sector, I believe I'm the best. So I'm not even thinking Nigeria. I stopped thinking Nigeria a long time ago. I live across the globe. Just put me in a room with others. Right? What must you believe to get the result you want? And that's why you see me walk to governors, walk to presidents, walk with all kinds of people, because that's the belief. And, you know, you can't take my belief away from me. Good. This can pay me enough to live a comfortable life. Fantastic. And that takes me to number 4. What action steps will you take to install these new beliefs from today? What action steps will you take to install these new beliefs from today? What action steps will you take? And those action steps, I want you to take some of them tonight, right? So maybe some of you are going to go home tonight and you are going to do your first broadcast, right? Or you're going to get certified, or you're going to say, okay, I'm going to register for family system engineering immediately, right? I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to postpone. I'm going to register immediately. I'm going to do my down payment, right? For some of you, you're just going to go out there and say, you know what? You're going to put on your Facebook and say, for your premium family life solutions, I am the one. Right? You need to take an action immediately, right? Good. Okay, I would love all these people who are saying their first step is to register for family system engineering. Fantastic. I love you guys. I love you guys. This is the kind of audience I even want. Right? Good. Fantastic. right? So you already know the action step to take. And that is so when you want to change a belief, you identify, you question it, you reframe it, and you install. Right? When I was like you, I mean, I used to believe, freely have you received, freely have you give. I mean, then I realized that I was broke. I wasn't making money. I will solve problem. They will stretch our hand. Let us bless our brother. Everybody, oh wow, brother Praise, you blessed us. You blessed us. You blessed us. I'll go back home. I will have Gary in my house. I can't afford. I couldn't travel. In fact, when my wife went for her first master's, they didn't give me visa. They look at my bank account. They say, God, we cannot give you any visa because you're not going to come back. Can you imagine? They gave my wife visa. They gave my son visa. My son was one. They gave my mother-in-law visa. I was the only one. Because they took, and when I saw that, I said, no more. Because it took pain for me to change my belief. But you don't have to go through pain, right? And then it dawned on me that I was masquerading. I was okay for people to be calling me Pastor Praise. I don't pastor a church. They were calling me pastor. I didn't know that calling me pastor is free service. Because once they call you pastor like this, you can't charge again. You just say, God bless our brother. You are doing it for God. You are doing it. So they will even say, God will pay you. God will, so you can say, and people say, if you are charging, God cannot bless you. If you are charging to play drums, please charge. Charge. Right? Because your children go to school. Performing artists are different from instrumentalists. If you're a performing artist, you can earn royalty, you can do streaming. Musicians don't earn any of those things. They need to be paid. Right? The moment I changed that belief, many people disappeared, but the people that needed me showed up. The people that wanted me disappeared. That's how these things work. Right? If I tell you the numbers I've done, this is January, right? If I tell you the numbers I've done in the month of January alone, it's insane, right? If I wasn't living in America, if I live in Africa, what the numbers I've done this month, I don't really need to do so much for the rest of the year, right? But America is a different ballgame entirely, okay? Right? So I knew what to believe. And what did I do immediately? I changed the way I was charging. So when people called me, I said, oh, sorry, you can't, you need to send us a mail. My office will respond to you. Then someone will talk to you. So usually they will beg me to say, what they are charging is too much. Then it's better when if you charge 1 million, they now beg you with 500,000. It's better than for you to be surprised. You just got there and they are big, they've cooked food. In fact, I can't forget. One organization called me and I said, oh, then my office said, how much are you going to pay? Say, we thought he would do it for free. And he said, why? He said, because we have used the money to cook food for the people coming. So you have money to cook food, but you don't have money for the guest facilitator. I just slept in my house. I said, I'm not going. He said, come and do it for God. No, God is not even going to be, because you guys, your priorities are wrong, right? Now, there is a time to do it for free if you are just starting out. But after a while, you now need to do it for a fee. And God is not upset. If you are charging, you are still doing it today. No matter what you charge, they will not still be able to pay you your dues, right? And so, as I tidy this up, you look at your current beliefs, your current practice, and your current result. Your current result is because of your current beliefs and because of your current action. So to change your result, you need to change your beliefs and you need to change your action. Once you change your beliefs, your action changes, then your result changes. We say whatever you believe is what you behave, and what you behave is what you become. Now, before I let you go, I'm going to give you an assignment for tonight, and you have to do that assignment before you come tomorrow. But FESEC, Family Engineering Certification, there are 3 streams this year. First stream starts February 2nd to April 26th. It's 13 weeks thereabout. Next stream is June 7th to August 30. The last stream is September 20 to December 15. Right? You can take any of the stream. But what they have done in the office is very simple, right? For we have never increased our prices in the last 3 years thereabout, but the board has said, so the new prices for family STEM engineering is about $500, 500,000 naira, sorry, I think in dollars, right? But by March, the price is going to go up. But the conference fee, this 2 days conference, if you want to do a one-time payment, you can pay the price for last year, which is 400,000, right? But you need to do that between today and tomorrow. However, for the bootcamp price or the webinar price, it's going to be 450,000, right? But you need to pay 100,000 to lock down. Once you pay 100,000, you've locked down your space for the rest of the year. And you can choose any of the classes for the year and spread your payment, pay it at your pace. Or if you need a payment plan, talk to the team. They'll put their details in there. You can talk to them, right? But you'll hear more about that tomorrow. So don't delay. If you have 100,000, lock down your space almost immediately, then you can spread the rest of your payment, right? A class starts February 2nd. You don't want to miss that. So for those of you, I always say to people, there is nothing called expensive. I would ask, how do I afford it? And does my destiny deserve it? And I'll tell you, go and check anywhere. There is no certification of the magnitude of family system that costs what we charge. Lesser certification costs way more, right? But what we have done is to keep our pricing low. If not for the board that jacked up the price a little bit at the end of the year, we would have still kept it the same. Now, what is your own play? One, against tomorrow, you're going to write a personal commitment statement to yourself on the future of your family life practice, the value you will bring, and how much you will get paid. So you're going to write a commitment statement and say, I, Praiseful, hereby commit to myself that I'm going to transform the world as a family life professional working with high net worth individuals. I am going to be ensuring that families work together and that children are successfully raised. And for that, I'm going to get paid maybe $1 million within the next 2 years or something like that. That's your personal commitment statement. Number two, what is limiting your capacity to operate at the highest level, and what are you going to do about it, right? That is number two. And number three, I'm going to have the personal number three for you. Number three is that you are going to go on social media tonight, and you are going to go and announce yourself. And the way you're going to announce yourself is very simple. I assist X to achieve Y so that Z can happen. I assist X to achieve Y so that Z can happen. I assist X to achieve Y so that Z can happen, right? So for example, I assist C-suite executive achieve family success so that they can live a happy life, right? I assist X achieve Y so that Z can happen, right? That is what my own personal assignment for you. And please, once you do it, tag me. Tag me Praiseful on Facebook. I am Praiseful on Instagram and everywhere else. Okay, so tag me, let me look at it, and let me say it. We'll see you tomorrow. I hope you guys have learned something. If you have learned something, let me see the fire on the chat box. Let me see what you have learned. If there's one thing you have learned today, what is it? Put it on the chat box. Let me look at you. And please don't forget, if you're signing up today, go ahead, make your 100,000 payment and block your slot so that you can now choose any of the dates for the year that you want to take the class, or you can take 400,000 one-time payment and maximize the price for last year. Okay, thank you very much. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I will hand it over back to my sister. Blessing, over to you.
Wow, didn't I say it? So for those of you who were with me at the beginning, what did I say? I said the Savior was going to take the stage and tonight was going to be transformative. Who can attest that tonight has been wonderful? Because I know it has been for me. My notes, I have been taking down notes. But am I not a practitioner? I am, and I'm in the network. So every time you meet with Praiseful, you are bound to change. Your life is bound to be transformed. About the assignment, I'm rushing to my social media handles after now. So you all have been amazing. Wow, the night has been fully charged. Yes, Bombata, the night has been charged. And wait for it tomorrow. Tomorrow is even going to be more, it's going to be something out of the ordinary. Tomorrow is going to be amazing. So thank you. Please, let's light up. Just light up the chat box. Praise yourself. Just appreciate yourself for staying tonight, for joining, because you don't know what you have done for yourself. You know, you started the session with amazing with a song cheering us on. And tonight has really, it has been amazing. It has see, the message tonight tells you that the year 2024 for you is loaded. So if you know you are ready to embrace and brace up, get in and just charge, move. So light up the chat box and just send a word. Appreciate Praise because he did amazing tonight. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you for humanity flows in your bloodstream and you have succeeded in transferring that to us. Thank you. You make us have the mind of others at heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was a fantastic session. Yes, Esther. And next, I'll be bringing up Tega, who is going to be giving a testimonial tonight to let you know that it's not just blessing, but others has been transformed as well. And for you that will be coming up, will be joining any of the stream, you will be testifying. So Tega, I leave the stage. I don't want to do too much talk because I'm charged up. So Tega, please.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I believe you're fine and we are doing well tonight. So I just want to give everyone a brief of how the family system engineering course was for me. Where do I start from? Okay. So I joined the last cohort for family systems engineering course, and I will not lie, it was an eye-opener for me. From the beginning to the very end, I didn't want it to end, though we had assignments and all. But the major aspect of it was that my life was changed. I was more human towards people. I was more intentional about the way I dealt, with people. I was very loving. It helped my marriage, to be better. He helped me to see the lapses in my marriage and make adjustments, where necessary. I've been married for 6 years now, 7 years this year. And I know how my marriage was, before I took the course. So I can see the lapses in my marriage and I'm doing well, way more better than before. Also, it helped me to be able to diagnose problems or challenges, that people face. My clients, even before they even dive deep into the conversations, maybe when we have our sessions. So I would recommend the family system engineering course for anyone. It's not just for you, it's for you. Okay, it's for you first of all, maybe as a single person or as a married person, and also for you to be able to help the life of other people. You know what really stood out for me recently? I said I was going to share this with the network. Few days back, I was in the room with Dr. Gary Chapman, the author of the 5 Love Languages. And, when he was talking and all, I was like, okay, say something new. Because not like he wasn't saying anything, so good. It was brilliant. But I was like, they've taught us all these things now. That's how I felt like, okay, what next? What do you want to say? So I'll recommend the family system engineering for anyone. Please join us. Come along. Let's make the world a better place together. And you'll be glad you did. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Tega. Isn't it? See, can you see? Tega and said the same thing. I equally attended Gary Chapman's webinar and I was like, okay, so this is, so, and she's saying the same thing. So you now understand that we are not just making fallacy. No. We are not saying what is not it. What you tested tonight is just a tip of the iceberg. So I want you all to come tomorrow, ensure you show up tomorrow and invite a friend. That friend who couldn't make it tonight, ensure that they are in the room tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be even beyond what you have gotten today. Tomorrow is going to be beyond what you have gotten today. So I want to appreciate every one of you for signing up, for showing up, and for staying to the end. We can't wait to have you tomorrow. So we have come to the end of tonight's session. Just want to ensure you remember, we have in the chat box here the payment link, the sign up link, remember, he said something and I took it and he said, self-improvement is not cheap. So don't deny yourself the opportunity of getting the value that you need, getting the certification that you need, getting the tool that you need to serve. I want to end with saying, thank you all for sharing